Sammy Baugh, the father of the forward pass. When Sammy Baugh entered the NFL in 1937, football was a completely different game. Teams ran the ball 80% of the time, and throwing was considered a desperate last resort. Baugh didn't just change that, he revolutionized the entire sport by proving that passing could be the foundation of an offense. Before Baugh, quarterbacks were basically handoff specialists who occasionally threw wobbly passes when they absolutely had to. Baugh was different. He could throw the ball 60 yards downfield with pinpoint accuracy, and he did it consistently. In his rookie season, he completed 81 of 171 passes, numbers that seem modest now but were absolutely revolutionary for 1937. Baugh's impact went beyond statistics. He forced defenses to completely rethink their approach. Teams could no longer stack 8 men in the box because Baugh would burn them through the air. He created the concept of the balanced offense, where running and passing were equally dangerous threats. The Washington Redskins built their entire system around Baugh's arm, and it worked. They won 2 NFL championships with him leading a passing attack that was decades ahead of its time. Baugh proved that a quarterback could be the most important player on the field, not just another position player. What made Baugh truly revolutionary was his accuracy. He didn't just throw the ball far, he threw it exactly where it needed to be. His completion percentage of 70.3% in 1945 wasn't matched again until the 80s. He set the template for what a quarterback could be, and every passer who came after him built on the foundation he created. Johnny Unitas, the prototype of the modern QB. Johnny Unitas took everything Sammy Baugh started and perfected it into the blueprint that every quarterback still follows today. When Unitas stepped into the pocket, he didn't just throw passes, he conducted symphonies of precision that redefined what leadership looked like on a football field. Unitas created the modern pocket passer template. His footwork was flawless, his reads were lightning quick, and his arm strength was legendary, but what really set him apart was his ability to perform under pressure. The 2-minute drill wasn't just something Unitas ran, it was something he invented and perfected. The 1958 NFL Championship game against the Giants is still called the greatest game ever played, and it was Unitas who made it great. Down by 3 points with 2 minutes left, he methodically drove the Colts down the field, completing pass after pass under incredible pressure. When regulation ended in a tie, he did it again in overtime, throwing the touchdown pass that won the game and changed football forever. That performance didn't just win a championship, it showed America what football could be. The game was televised nationally, and millions of people watched Unitas prove that quarterbacks could be heroes, clutch performers who could single-handedly change the outcome of the biggest games. Unitas also revolutionized how quarterbacks prepared for games. He was one of the first to extensively study film, memorize defensive tendencies, and develop the kind of football intelligence that modern quarterbacks take for granted. His preparation methods became the standard for every elite quarterback who followed. His streak of 47 consecutive games with a touchdown pass stood as a record for over 50 years, proving that consistency and excellence could coexist at the quarterback position. Unitas showed that being a quarterback wasn't just about having a strong arm, it was about having a strong mind and an unbreakable will to win. If you're enjoying learning about these game-changing quarterbacks, smash that like button to help more football fans discover these stories, and make sure to subscribe to Extra Point Explanation for more deep dives into the players who shaped the NFL. Joe Namath, the quarterback as superstar. Joe Namath didn't just play quarterback, he transformed the position into a platform for stardom and helped legitimize the AFL in its final years before the full merger with the NFL. When Broadway Joe guaranteed that the Jets would beat the heavily favored Colts in Super Bowl III, he wasn't just making a bold prediction. He was changing the relationship between quarterbacks and the public forever. Before Namath, quarterbacks were seen as field generals who should be humble and workmanlike. Namath threw that playbook out the window. He was flashy, confident, and unapologetically charismatic. He wore white shoes, fur coats, and pantyhose in commercials. He made being the quarterback cool in a way that had never existed before. But Namath's impact went far beyond style. His guarantee and subsequent victory in Super Bowl III proved that the AFL could compete with the established NFL. The leagues had agreed to merge in 1966, but many still viewed the AFL as inferior. Namath's performance validated the AFL's quality and helped smooth the path to full integration in 1970. Namath also changed how quarterbacks were marketed and perceived by fans. He was the first QB to become a true celebrity, appearing on talk shows, in movies, and in advertisements. He showed that quarterbacks could be the face of their franchises and the league itself, paving the way for every charismatic quarterback who followed. His playing style was revolutionary too. Namath had one of the strongest arms in football history and wasn't afraid to take risks. He was the first quarterback to throw for over 4,000 yards in a season, doing it in 1967 when the season was only 14 games long. His willingness to push the ball downfield changed how offenses approached the passing game. Namath's influence extended beyond the field. He negotiated one of the first massive quarterback contracts, signing a $427,000 deal with the Jets that was unprecedented at the time. He showed that elite quarterbacks could command elite money, setting the stage for massive contracts that top QBs receive today. Fran Tarkenton, the scrambling revolution. Fran Tarkenton took one look at the traditional pocket passer model and decided to throw it out the window. When the pocket collapsed, instead of taking a sack like every quarterback before him, Tarkenton would scramble, extend plays, and create magic out of chaos. He didn't just change how quarterbacks played, he changed what was possible at the position. Before Tarkenton, quarterbacks were expected to stand in the pocket, deliver the ball quickly, and accept their fate if the protection broke down. Tarkenton proved that mobility could be a weapon, not just a last resort. He would roll out, scramble around, and keep plays alive until receivers got open or running lanes appeared. Tarkenton's scrambling ability forced defenses to completely rethink their approach. Pass rushers couldn't just focus on getting to the quarterback, they had to contain him and prevent him from escaping the pocket. This created new defensive concepts and techniques that are still used today. His statistics were revolutionary for his era. Tarkenton retired as the NFL's all-time leader in passing yards, touchdown passes, and completions, but more importantly, he showed that a mobile quarterback could be just as effective as a traditional pocket passer, if not more so. Tarkenton also changed how offenses were designed. The Minnesota Vikings and New York Giants built systems that took advantage of his mobility, using rollouts, bootlegs, and designed scrambles that became standard parts of modern offensive playbooks. He proved that offenses could be built around a quarterback's unique skills, rather than forcing every QB into the same mold. His influence can be seen in every mobile quarterback who came after him. From Steve Young to Michael Vick to Lamar Jackson, every scrambling quarterback owes a debt to Tarkenton's pioneering approach. He showed that there wasn't just one way to play the position effectively. Joe Montana, the master of the West Coast offense. Joe Montana didn't have the strongest arm or the biggest frame, but he had something more valuable, the ability to make every throw at exactly the right time with surgical precision. Montana didn't just run the West Coast offense, he perfected it and showed the entire league that timing and accuracy could be more valuable than raw arm strength. The West Coast offense was revolutionary because it treated short passes like running plays. Instead of trying to establish the run first, teams could use quick, precise passes to control the game and move the chains. Montana was the perfect quarterback for this system because his accuracy and timing were unmatched. Montana's ability to read defenses and deliver the ball to the exact right spot at the exact right time changed how quarterbacks were evaluated. Suddenly, arm strength wasn't the most important quality. Football intelligence, accuracy, and timing became the premium skills that teams looked for in their quarterbacks. His performance in clutch situations was legendary and created the template for what it means to be clutch at the quarterback position. Montana led 31 fourth-quarter comebacks and threw 45 touchdown passes in the fourth quarter during his career. He showed that the best quarterbacks weren't just good, they were better when the stakes were highest. The Montana mystique became a real thing that opposing teams had to game plan for. Even when the 49ers were behind late in games, opponents knew that Montana could pull off something magical. This psychological impact changed how teams approached late-game situations and clock management. Montana's success in the West Coast offense influenced offensive coordinators throughout the league. Teams started adopting similar systems, and the emphasis on short, precise passing became a fundamental part of modern NFL offenses. His approach proved you didn't need to throw the ball 50 yards downfield to be effective. His 4 Super Bowl victories and 3 Super Bowl MVP awards set the standard for quarterback excellence in the biggest moments. Montana showed that individual brilliance could elevate an entire team, and his clutch performances became the measuring stick for every quarterback who followed. Dan Marino, the pure pocket passer perfected. Dan Marino took the traditional pocket passer model and pushed it to its absolute limits. His quick release, pinpoint accuracy, and rocket arm created a new standard for what pure passing ability could look like. Marino didn't need to scramble or rely on system advantages, he could beat you with his arm alone. Marino's release was so quick that it became the gold standard for quarterback mechanics. He could get the ball out in under 3 seconds consistently, which neutralized pass rushers and allowed him to operate effectively even behind mediocre offensive lines. His technique became the model that quarterback coaches still teach today. His 1984 season was so far ahead of its time that it took nearly 20 years for anyone to approach his numbers. Marino threw for 5,084 yards and 48 touchdowns in just his second season, numbers that seemed impossible in an era when most quarterbacks threw for 3,000 yards and 20 touchdowns. Marino's success forced defenses to evolve. Teams had to develop new coverage schemes and pass rush techniques specifically to deal with his quick release and accuracy. The defensive innovations created to stop Marino influenced how defenses approached elite pocket passers for decades. His ability to read defenses pre-snap was revolutionary. Marino could diagnose what the defense was doing before the ball was snapped and adjust his reads accordingly. This pre-snap processing became an essential skill for modern quarterbacks, and Marino was one of the first to master it completely.
Marino also changed how teams built their offenses around elite quarterbacks. The Miami Dolphins constructed their entire system around maximizing his passing ability, using formations and route concepts that took advantage of his unique skills. This quarterback-centric approach became the template for how teams build around elite passers. His longevity and consistency were also influential. Marino played 17 seasons and threw for over 4,000 yards 6 times, proving that pure pocket passers could have long, productive careers if they mastered their craft. His approach to preparation and mechanics became the standard for quarterback development. Peyton Manning, the pre-snap genius. Peyton Manning turned the line of scrimmage into a chessboard and made every snap a battle of wits between him and the defense. Manning didn't just call plays, he diagnosed, audited, and adjusted in real time, creating a new standard for quarterback intelligence that changed how the position was played. Manning's pre-snap routine was legendary and revolutionary. He would survey the defense, identify their coverage, check for the perfect play, and often change the play multiple times before the snap. His Omaha calls became iconic, but they represented something deeper: a quarterback who could process information and make adjustments faster than anyone before him. The audible system that Manning perfected gave offenses unprecedented flexibility. Instead of being locked into whatever play was called in the huddle, Manning could change everything based on what the defense showed him. This real-time adjustment capability became essential for modern offenses and influenced how play calling evolved throughout the league. Manning's preparation methods were obsessive and influential. He would study film for hours, memorize defensive tendencies, and prepare for every possible scenario he might face. His approach to preparation became the gold standard for quarterback development and influenced how teams structure their weekly preparation. His ability to make pre-snap reads and adjustments forced defenses to become more complex and deceptive. Defensive coordinators had to develop new ways to disguise their coverages and intentions because Manning was so good at diagnosing what they were doing. This cat-and-mouse game elevated the strategic complexity of the entire sport. Manning's statistical dominance was a byproduct of his intelligence and preparation. He retired with 5 MVP awards and held numerous passing records, but his real impact was showing when the most important part of playing quarterback happened before the ball was even snapped. His influence on younger quarterbacks was immense. Players like Tom Brady and others have credited Manning with showing them how to approach the mental side of the game. His methods became the template for how elite quarterbacks prepare and process information. Michael Vick, the athletic revolution. Michael Vick didn't just run fast, he completely revolutionized what athletic ability could mean at the quarterback position. Vick's combination of speed, agility, and arm strength created a new archetype that forced the entire league to reconsider what a quarterback could be. Before Vick, mobile quarterbacks were usually scramblers who ran when passing plays broke down. Vick was different. He was a legitimate running threat who could take off at any moment and turn a routine play into a game-breaking touchdown. His 4.25 speed made him faster than most running backs and receivers. Vick's impact on offensive design was revolutionary. The Atlanta Falcons created plays specifically designed for him to run, including read options, designed scrambles, and packages that took advantage of his unique athletic ability. These concepts became fundamental elements of modern NFL offenses. His influence on video game culture was also significant. Vick became the most popular player in Madden NFL history because his combination of speed and arm strength made him virtually unstoppable in the game. This video game popularity introduced a generation of young fans to the possibilities of athletic quarterback play. Vick's return from prison and subsequent success with the Philadelphia Eagles proved that athletic quarterbacks could evolve and adapt their games. His improved accuracy and decision-making with the Eagles showed that raw athleticism could be combined with refined passing skills to create an even more dangerous weapon. His 2010 season with the Eagles was a masterpiece of athletic quarterback play. Vick threw for 3,018 yards and 21 touchdowns while rushing for 676 yards and 9 touchdowns, proving that a quarterback could be equally dangerous with his arm and his legs. This dual-threat capability became the template for the next generation of athletic quarterbacks. Vick's influence can be seen in every athletic quarterback who came after him. Players like Cam Newton and Lamar Jackson all built on the foundation that Vick established, proving that athletic ability wasn't a gimmick, it was a legitimate way to play the position at the highest level. Tom Brady, redefining longevity and clutch performance. Tom Brady didn't just play quarterback for a long time, he redefined what was possible in terms of career longevity while maintaining elite performance. Brady proved that with the right preparation, mindset, and system, a quarterback could remain effective well into his 40s, fundamentally changing how teams approach the position. Brady's longevity was unprecedented and influential. Playing until age 45 and winning a Super Bowl at 43 showed that quarterback careers didn't have to end in their mid-30s. His approach to training, nutrition, and body maintenance became a blueprint that other quarterbacks have tried to follow. His clutch performance in the biggest moments created a new standard for quarterback excellence. Brady's 35 playoff wins and 7 Super Bowl victories weren't just impressive numbers, they represented a level of big game performance that changed how quarterbacks are evaluated. Being good in the regular season wasn't enough anymore. Elite quarterbacks had to prove themselves in January and February. Brady's ability to elevate his teammates and make average players look great became legendary. He won Super Bowls with receivers that other teams had discarded and made the most of whatever weapons he was given. This ability to maximize talent around him became a crucial evaluation criterion for elite quarterbacks. His mastery of the mental aspects of the game was revolutionary. Brady's pre-snap reads, audibles, and ability to process information quickly rivaled Manning's, but he combined intelligence with unmatched competitive drive. His approach to the mental game influenced how quarterbacks prepare and think about football. Brady's success in different systems proved that elite quarterbacks could adapt and thrive regardless of their surroundings. His success with both the Patriots and the Buccaneers showed that great quarterbacks weren't just products of great systems, they could make any system work. His influence on the business side of the game was also significant. Brady's willingness to take team-friendly contracts to help build better rosters around him changed how some elite quarterbacks approach negotiations. His model of sacrificing individual earnings for team success influenced contract discussions throughout the league. Lamar Jackson, the RPO master. Lamar Jackson took everything that Michael Vick started and refined it into a systematic approach that changed how modern offenses operate. Jackson didn't just run occasionally, he made running a fundamental part of the Ravens' offensive system through his mastery of the run-pass option. Jackson's 2019 MVP season was a clinic in how to use athletic ability systematically rather than just relying on improvisation. He rushed for 1,206 yards while throwing for 3,127 and 36 touchdowns, proving that a quarterback could be a legitimate rushing threat without sacrificing passing effectiveness. The Ravens built their entire offensive system around Jackson's unique skills, using RPOs, designed runs, and option concepts that made every play a potential big gain. This systematic approach to using an athletic quarterback influenced offensive coordinators throughout the league and showed that mobile QBs could be the foundation of championship-level offenses. Jackson's accuracy and decision-making improved dramatically from his rookie season, proving that athletic quarterbacks could develop their passing skills without losing their running ability. His completion percentage jumped from 58.2% as a rookie to 66.1% in his MVP season, showing that development was possible. His impact on defensive preparation was significant. Teams had to dedicate extra time and personnel to preparing for Jackson's running ability, which opened up opportunities for other Ravens players. The attention that Jackson commanded as a runner made the entire offense more effective. Jackson's success changed how teams evaluate athletic quarterbacks in the draft. His combination of running ability and passing development showed that mobile QBs weren't just gadget players, they could be franchise quarterbacks who built their teams around their unique skills. His influence on younger quarterbacks has been immediate. High school and college quarterbacks now study Jackson's approach to the RPO and try to emulate his systematic use of athletic ability. He's created a new template for how athletic quarterbacks can maximize their impact. Patrick Mahomes, the new generation. Patrick Mahomes didn't just enter the NFL. He announced the arrival of a new generation of quarterback play that combines traditional pocket passing with improvisational magic that defies conventional wisdom. Mahomes throws no-look passes, sidearm darts, and off-platform rockets that have forced coaches and analysts to reconsider what's possible at the position. Mahomes' arm talent is unprecedented in NFL history. His ability to make throws from any arm angle, any platform, and any body position has created new possibilities for offensive design. Coaches can now call plays knowing that their quarterback can make throws that were previously impossible. His no-look passes became iconic and influential. These weren't just showboat moves, they were strategic weapons that kept defenses honest and created additional opportunities for receivers. Mahomes proved that unconventional techniques can be effective at the highest level if executed with precision. The Kansas City Chiefs built their offense around Mahomes' unique abilities, using concepts and formations that take advantage of his improvisational skills. This approach influenced other teams to design systems around their quarterback's specific talents, rather than forcing every QB into the same mold. Mahomes' success in his first few seasons was unprecedented. Winning MVP in his first year as a starter, leading the Chiefs to a Super Bowl victory, and consistently putting up video game numbers showed that the new generation of quarterbacks could achieve immediate success at the highest level. His influence on young quarterbacks has been immediate and significant. High school and college players now try to emulate Mahomes' unconventional throwing techniques and improvisational approach. He's inspired a generation of quarterbacks to be more creative and aggressive in their play. Mahomes' contract extension, worth over $500 million, reset the market for elite quarterbacks and showed that teams are willing to invest unprecedented amounts in franchise quarterbacks. His deal influenced how other elite QBs approach their negotiations and changed the economics of the position. His playoff performances have been legendary and clutch. Mahomes has led multiple comeback victories in the playoffs and performed at his best in the biggest moments, continuing the tradition of elite quarterbacks who elevate their play when the stakes are highest. These quarterbacks didn't just play the position, they revolutionized it. From Sammy Baugh's pioneering passing to Patrick Mahomes' improvisational magic, each of these players forced the entire league to adapt and evolve. If you enjoyed learning about these game-changing quarterbacks, smash that like button and let me know in the comments which quarterback you think had the biggest impact on the position. And if you want more deep dives into the players and moments that shaped the NFL, make sure to subscribe to Extra Point Explanation. Thanks for watching, and remember, the greatest quarterbacks don't just play the game, they redefine what's possible.